And here we go. It's going to be a Mortar battle. Heal Spirit Band, Minor Band, and it's Mortar Hog for Egor. Looking like it might be Mortar GY for Jupiterking. And gotta love the gumption here for Jupiterking to play Mortar against the Mortar Master. And yes, it is Mortar Graveyard. And Valk plus Stab Gobs will be more than up to the task to defend against this first Graveyard push. Not a lick of damage. Egor ahead 2006 to nothing. So this Mortar Cannon Cart deck has two popular variants. One of them, the one you're seeing now, that runs Graveyard and Musketeer. There is also a minor, I think it's minor Hunter variant with the same 6 cards in terms of support and Graveyard. Good fireball value here for the Russian. Of course, Egor went on in that same World Final to beat Javi Catorze in a BO3 in the 1v1 set. Went 5-1 overall in his CRL debut on the biggest stage in the biggest moment. Jupiterking, a very talented player, made a huge splash at the NoTilt Worlds earlier in 2020, earlier this year, where he was, or I'm sorry, at NoTilt League Special Edition with Tribe Gaming. Made a huge splash there. Posted the top win rate amongst all players. Might have been something like 74%. It was bananas. And looked like Tribe Gaming was going to run away with the championship in CRL West this season. And then they just fell a little bit short during semifinals of Space Station, who went on to become the eventual champions. 17-15 to 15-41, final 30 seconds of regulation. You know, Egor would have liked to build a little bigger of a lead during single. 200, less than 200 HP, not that safe at this stage. Mortar down and delivery high. Cannon Cart cycles to the left. Fireball just for a little extra damage there. Gets the Mortar down defensively, and that Cannon Cart will not get in range of that Princess Tower on the left-hand side. Valk, Bats, and Stab Gobs. All viable here against this deck on defense. The arrow's not going to put as much DPS, and holding off on those right now is Jupiterking. And that's the issue here. Has 2 3-elixir spells that he needs to be saving to prevent Bats from doing a ton of damage at a -1 trade every time. Egor adds the lead there with that one Valk swing. Graveyard in, no tank right now for Jupiter. And Egor is getting really, really aggressive against those Mortar placements. Fireballing that Mortar pretty much every chance he has for value on the Princess Tower. Here we go. Final minute triple elixir time. Cannon Cart trying to sneak through. Not going to do it. Snowball sticks that one high. Arrows trying to make a little bit of room, but the Valk Musketeer combo holding it down on the left-hand side. Cannon Cart cycled for Jupiter, and more Fireball cycle. Egor has been ahead on the spell cycle game this entire way. Recognized the matchup, knew he could get a ton of spell damage that Jupiterking just can't match. Fireball in one more time. Arrows trying to find a way for the Mortar to connect. Mortar not going to get there, though. Will Mortar get one shot on tower here? That would be a big one. And yes, it does. Not going to be enough, though. Hog trying to break through. Might have to Mortar defend against it. Not going to do it. And there you go. GG, well played. Egor takes game number 1. Available whenever those tournaments happen, and I give away the name and password live on stream when they do happen. But right now, talking about live on stream, Jupiterking and Egor. Yeah, training camp is the best arena by far. Every other arena is just ugly by comparison to training camp. The times of not match, can you switch the timing sometimes? You mean do a match one at a different time of day? Nah, that's when I stream. I'm only streaming this as a special event because it's the CRL East, or it's the NoTilt League, NoTilt World Championship. Get it right, Slayton. The NoTilt World Championship Eastern semifinals. So I wanted to get up early. This is an abnormal streaming time for me, for those of you guys who are like, this is perfect for me. Not my normal time. I'm usually not even awake by now. It's 6 a.m. in California. Looking like GY for Jupiterking here. And going right back to that same hog deck as Egor. Worked well once, why not run it again? You have a BO5. Hog does not break through. So Jupiter going GY in 2 consecutive games is really interesting here. Wonder what he thinks matchup-wise about playing against Egor. Makes GY the right way to go. Mortar down, and nothing to pick it up. Archer's going to be too late. The little pink-haired girl's too late. That results in 2 big-time mortar shots just like that. Egor takes the lead as we head into double elixir time. And Jupiter opts to go and spend 5 on the defense. You can counter that Hog Rider, a lone Hog Rider with a Goblin Cage. You can play it pretty much just in the same lane and pick up that counter. This time the Valk does pick up the mortar. You cannot counter a Hog Rider that's supported with just a Goblin Cage, though. And 1 Goblin escapes, 1 Stab Gob going wild on the right-hand side. And now Jupiter in trouble in both lanes. And Jupiter going full GY poison. Egor selling out. Goes down to 1 elixir with the Hog on the left-hand side. And that Hog will sneak through for a shot. So here we go, sudden death overtime. Egor ahead by about 200 HP on the South Korean. Mortar high. This one picked up fairly easily, and that's a pretty healthy Valk. And nice placement by Egor to get all 3. And you see there, Jupiterking with the micro played the Goblin Cage to the left, and it was too far away from the Hog, so those high skeletons, just enough mass to move that Hog over into Goblin Cage range. Nice management there by Jupiter to play that defense, and now another big graveyard poison push on the right-hand side. This time, no skeletons needed for that Hog Rider. Snowball in, trying to make some room there, and ooh, that got those skeletons perfectly. You saw the skeletons flash in Jupiter's hand there. That snowball timed precisely. You see poison on the left-hand side just to keep that Musketeer from giving too much extra help. 2 Egor on the left-hand side, but that Hog Rider going to get 1, maybe 2 shots here. Just gets 1, 654. Damage done. And now a naked Graveyard on the right-hand side with poison. Well thought out by Jupiter on the right-hand lane. Understood the cycle there and knew that it was going to be Stab Gobs primarily, most likely as the only real defense. Has to defend against this Hog. Don't know if he can, though. Hog going to get in, get 1 shot, bats behind. GG. Egor up a quick 2-0. 2 matches so far have not had any real sweep to stay in this one. Can he get it done? And look at this. Egor going to do it one more time. Egor going the same way one more time. Hey, Holly Simpson, thanks for the winner chicken dinner over on the Trovo chat. Appreciate it. And interesting here. Egor going same deck. 3 times in a row. Bananas. Absolutely bananas. Jupiterking going Hog EQ with Bomb Tower. Very interesting deck selection. The EQ, of course, will be nice against that Mortar as time goes on. We'll see what kind of games these two play around the Mortar and EQ placements. Log clears the path, and there you go. Hog Rider gets one shot, 1845 left-hand lane. Jupiterking takes the first significant lead he's had in this best of 5. So we'll see what Egor's plan is here. The Mortar obviously can pull the Hog, but EQ makes things very interesting there. And then the delivery not phenomenal against the Hog. And smart play here by Jupiterking to protect the Bomb Tower. That Hog Rider, though, will not go to it. Gets one shot to the left-hand side, Mortar down. And not even going to waste time here. Jupiter immediately Earthquakes that Mortar and should pretty much every time. And this spell cycle going to be kind of brutal here for Egor to keep up with, I think. And look at that. Jupiter just hard spell cycling here. Just cycled an Earthquake on troops and tower. Very aggressive spell cycle from the South Korean. It's not even in sudden death overtime. And back to the EQ already. Good matchup here for Jupiterking. Playing it hyper aggressive. And the snowball does not push the Hog the correct way. Force to play Log as well to prevent that extra shot. This Musketeer does not get one shot on the right-hand side. Egor up 2 Elixir with 1:45 left. And just the spell cycle from Jupiterking, the naked spell cycle from Jupiter. Not even waiting for Mortars to come down, just saying, hey, I know this is where I can get damage. I can get a lot of it. Getting close to the end here. Final minute, 20 seconds, Mortar high. And smart play by Jupiter, saw it come down, saw the EQ, and said, might as well put some pressure on. Ice Golem picks up easily, though. Fireball in on the Bomb Tower and Archers. But this is it. That's a GG. Jupiterking's got this thing all locked up. Snowball in, triple spell. EQ won't finish it here, but we'll get it mighty close. Log will top it off. Kaboom. Oh, I guess I was... So here we go, game number 4. Advantage Jupiterking, or advantage Egor, and don't tell me he's doing it. Don't tell me he's doing it. Don't tell me he's doing it. No way. What is this? No way. No way. Egor, same deck. Is he playing ladder? Did he forget? Did he forget that this is a best of 5? Egor playing the same deck 4 times in a row. I think my brain will never recover. All right. Well, when you're this good, go ahead and do it. Guys, Egor Hog Mortar one trick, apparently. This is absolutely bananas. This is absolutely insane. I've seen 3 in a row. Haven't seen it work, but I've seen it 4 in a row. 4 in a row. Absolutely insane. The chat doesn't even understand. No one understands. Yuki Bob saying, what a troll, man. Haru saying bananas. Felix Brad saying he play ladder. Nobody knows what's going on. Well, if you want to learn how to play Hog Mortar, guys, I guess here's the video for you. I'm going to have to redo the thumbnail for this and just make it Egor plays Hog Mortar. Because what in the world? Well, it's GY for Jupiterking. We've seen this matchup once before, and Egor won it pretty handily. Let's see how it goes running it back. Someone in the chat, Yassine Al-Harda saying Jupiter should have banned Mortar. That's a hard one. That's a hard call, right? Because you ban Mortar, but you're not really able to ban archetypes there, right? You really at that point are just banning like Mortar Miner, Mortar Hog, Mortar GY. You're not banning any particular archetype. So it takes a tool out of Egor's hands, but it doesn't help you narrow down deck pool, really. So Mortar's a funky ban to go for. So I understand why Jupiter didn't ban Mortar. I think when you ban against Egor, you ban for your deck pool, not for his deck pool, right? There are some players you ban to limit their deck pool. You know, you choose something, you go, okay, well, if I ban this particular support card, out of the 10 decks I know he runs, this narrows it down to 5 or something like that. But there are some players where you ban for your deck pool and say, okay, well, I'm going to run, I have these decks prepared. This card makes decks that counter this more prevalent. Let's get rid of that. So Jupiterking banning Heal Spirit here. Would love to talk to him about what the thought process was. So this one, more competitive than the first time they ran it. Here we are, final minute, triple elixir. And Jupiterking seems to have a better read on the matchup, although a nice Fireball Zap combination. Hog does not connect, though. And Jupiter has a Valk plus Brawler with Archers in support here. Cage not available, but Snowball Archers will stop that Hog. This time the matchup going much, much better for Jupiterking. Final 30 seconds. Egor in a lot of trouble right now. Mortars to the right-hand side, going to hog that side too, I believe. Good poison here from Jupiter. Hog comes into the left-hand side. Cage high, and this should be it. This should be a win for Jupiter here in game number 4. We're going to game 5, folks. Here we go. Let's do it. Game 5 coming. This is what I wanted to see. Jupiter, either way, it will be streaming with me again today in a few hours. Gonna go get some breakfast, take a walk, have some water, come back, stream more Clash Royale for you guys. Blastwagon, I do love saying summertime. Here we go, game 5, everybody. Jupiterking, Egor. Man, this is what I wanted to see. So happy it worked out this way. I don't even care who wins at this stage. Probably both these guys will end up qualifying for the next round. One of them will do it today, though. And Jupiter runs Hog right into NATO, so Egor does not go 5 in a row. Egor not doing it 5 in a row. King Tower activation. And no, please no. Oh no, are we serious here? Is Egor going Elixir Golem Battle Healer? Is the great Egor one of the top players, one of the best cycle, one of the best micromanagers in the game, gonna go E-Golem Battle Healer? I don't even know what to do with myself. I do not know what to do with myself here. Battle Healer Barbutt. Might be GY here. If we see a Night Witch, it'll be GY. Hog to the left-hand lane. Barb Hut back at 7. So a different Hog EQ for Jupiterking. Worked well for him once. We'll see if it works here for him again. And there's the E-Golem. My word. GY is Graveyard Gabriel Perez. This is crazy. He runs the same deck 4 times in a row and then goes E-Golem Battle Healer for the final deck. And I love the Bomb Tower call here from Jupiterking. The question is, how does he deal with all this stuff in the air? Just a Musketeer and a Snowball. Keeping that Musketeer buried behind that Bomb Tower, but still 2 Electro Dragons up high. Hog cycled down. Egor not able to get a Barb Hut down in time, so NATO's at the King one more time. Jupiterking in the lead here. Final 2 minutes. We are in sudden death overtime. Winner goes on to face Yakitori. And Jupiterking just cycling hard for these Bomb Towers. I mean, that's his defense. His defense is Bomb Tower, Musketeer, Snowball, and kind of the Log. Kind of, I say on purpose, because he wants to get some chip with that if he can. But all this aerial attack. The Baby Dragons and Electro Dragons. So using the Log right now to control these E-Golems and the Battle Healer. Can't seem to get that Winged Woman off the board. Cycles Hog to the right-hand side. And Egor forced to spend Barb Barrel Skellies on defense. Doesn't work out. EQ gets a huge amount of damage. 902 right-hand side. Here we go. Final minute. Jupiterking way ahead right now. 902. Both towers over 2,000 HP. The Bomb Tower saving grace right now for the South Korean. Hog Rider moves into the right-hand side with the EQ. Forcing the Barb Hut. Just look at how much this deck can get on the board here from Egor. Second Bomb Tower down. Jupiterking cycling very, very well. Cycling extremely well on defense. EQ does pull the Hog Rider away from that right-hand tower, but now with this triple spell, Jupiterking cycling really, really hard here. Log, Snowball, EQ, Snowball, Log, EQ. Boom, boom. That will be it. Jupiterking